So for anyone who has not seen Office 2007, Office 2010, or this most recent version, which is 2013, this is probably a shock. Across the top is the Quick Access toolbar, which currently is composed of 3 tools: Save, Undo, and Redo or Repeat. Then in the middle of your screen, you see the name of your workbook. On the far right-hand side, you have your controls, as well as a new tool with ribbon display options. So in the past, we had a caret, which allowed us to expand or collapse the ribbon. Now this feature has been expanded to include auto hiding the ribbon entirely, as we did before, or just show the tabs, or show tabs and commands. So I'll just click outside that area. Then we see the ribbon. Clicking the File tab opens up Backstage View again, giving us information about our file, the opportunity to create a new worksheet in this case, to open an existing workbook, save or save as, to print our workbook, share this with others. Export allows us to change the file type to PDF or other file types. Close does exactly as it sounds. The account is where I would go to change my Bob and Deb account to a different Office 365 subscription account if I have one. And then options is just like tools options from Office 2003 with categories. So we have general, your formulas, proofing, save. And save is a good one to check. We want to make sure that your auto recovery and your local file location is declared here. What language are you using? Advanced options, customize ribbon, and quick access toolbar. Both of these can be customized. Add-ins, and your trust center, which predominantly is used for Visual Basic permissions, macro permissions. I'll click cancel. The home ribbon is the ribbon you'll use for most of your work. Then we have the insert ribbon for inserting charts, shapes, smart art, word art, tables, etc. The page layout ribbon has all of your options for handling your page in terms of size, margin, orientation, etc. Then we have the formulas bar. So this is where your functions are located. So you can either just go into insert function, or you can click any one of these categories to see a list of functions that are related to that particular category. The data tab is used for accessing data from other sources, for sorting and filtering data, etc. The review tab is used for spell checking, adding comments, protecting or sharing your workbook. And the view is exactly that. It looks at your viewing. So you have 3 different standard views that are available from the view ribbon as well as from your status bar at the bottom of your screen. You can turn on and off your formula bar, headers, grid lines, and rulers. We have zooming, arranging your windows. This presumes you have more than one workbook open, as well as the switch windows tool. And then there's your macro tool, which allows you to view your macros. Now below the ribbon is what's referred to as the name box. So when I select a cell by clicking on it, I get this cell pointer, which is the green border all the way around my cell. And the actual name of the cell or address is shown in the name box. If I click on cell H5, if I couldn't tell by the visual cues whether I was in cell H5, I can just look at the name box. If I want to navigate to a specific cell quickly and I know the cell address, I can type it in. And case does not matter here. So I'll type in the column first, which is AC, and 25. Press enter, and it takes you to cell AC 25. To get back to cell A1, Control Home will get me there the fastest. There are dimples here that allow you to slide the name box so that it becomes wider. This allows you to see the full name of any named ranges you may be working with. That's another topic for a future recording. Beside that, are the cancel, accept, and insert function tool. So this is the same tool we see on the formula ribbon, insert function. Just it's shown here close to the formula bar and in close proximity to your work. Then to the right of that is the formula bar. So anything that has been entered in a cell, which is what these little rectangles are referred to as, will appear in the formula bar. So if I type in my first name, it appears not only in the cell, but as in the formula bar. If I type in my last name, and instead of pressing tab like I did last time, click the check mark, that enters my data and keeps me in the same cell. Let's add a number. And notice that when you're entering data, that many of the tools on your ribbon actually get grayed out. That's because you're in edit mode or enter mode. That means that all you can do is enter the data, and if you want to format it afterwards or ascribe something to it, you need to finish it by pressing enter or tab or clicking the check mark in order to have access to those tools. When I double click cell C1, I go immediately into edit mode. And I know that from two cues. One, a lot of stuff is grayed out up here, which means I can't make changes. And I see at the bottom on my status bar that I'm in edit mode. So I'll click the check mark to stay there. On the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see there are two grayed out arrows and a sheet. This is the sheet that we're working on right now. But if you wanted to have another sheet, you can use the plus symbol and then type some new data. And if you need more sheets, just keep pressing the plus symbol. Now these sheets can be renamed, which we'll talk about also in a future episode. And notice that we have these dimples here as well, which means we can change the width of our horizontal scroll bar. So if I bring it over far enough, you'll see I get this ellipses. And that just means that there's more to be seen. So if I click on that, it takes me to sheet 3, then to sheet 4, and notice it's actually activating these sheets. Sheet 3, sheet 2, sheet 1. Whereas if I use these tools, these just navigate me across the list of sheets, but it doesn't actually activate them. You'll know which one is activated because the text is green. So if I double click that, it should shrink it back, and now I'll see all of my names. So we already talked a little bit about the status bar. You'll see ready here. On the far right hand side are your normal page layout and page break preview, as well as your zoom. So let's go back. I'm going to use my control key to go to the very first sheet and then select it by clicking it. The vertical bar here can be used to zoom in or out. Doesn't actually change the font size, it's just changing the magnification. You can also use the plus symbol or the minus symbol to increase or decrease. And if you click on the percentage, it'll actually give you this zoom dialog where you can stipulate that you want to go to a specific number in this way. I think that's everything I want to say for today about the interface for Excel 2013. So I hope you found this informative. In our next recording, we'll look at customizing the ribbon and the quick access toolbar.